Okay, so now we want to put in the code. So where do we want to put the code? So basically, we want to put in code for each one of these buttons. For each of the buttons for the math operations, double-click to produce a subroutine for handling that click, right? So the user's going to put a number in here and a number in here, and then they're going to click these buttons and get some result to show up here. So, for example, we want to do this for the plus button. So he just says we're going to do it for the plus button, the minus button, the multiplication button, the division button, the integer division, the mod, and the exponential button. So here he's saying, for example, if you double click on the plus button, then it's going to say BTM plus. This is going to say this, and then it's going to say BTN plus here. So that's what we want. And then in that button, we're going to say, we're going to declare A, B, and C. Now here we don't say the type. But let's leave it like that. So A, and this is a function, C int. That's some function. We've learned, what functions did we learn about? Date value and time value, I believe, and also format in last week's class. So here, this is another function. It's the same function here. So what's going inside this function? This. And what is this? We said that this is going to be called txta, and this is going to be called txtb, txta and txtb. So what is this? This is txta dot text. In other words, we're extracting the text from txta, from that text box. And here we're extracting the text from txtb, from that text box. And then we're using this function cint. And what it's going to do is it's going to convert whatever was in here to an integer. So what that means is if the user types in 3.8 here and 6.7 here, it's not going to read it as 3.8. It's just going to convert it to an integer. So I think it's going to convert it to, I forget what cint does. I think it's going to convert it to 3, but it might convert it to 4. I think 3.8 will get converted to 3. So it's going to convert whatever the user puts in here into an integer, not to a decimal number. Now what happens if the user enters their name here by mistake? It's going to try and convert that into an integer, but of course it's not really, that doesn't really make much sense. And so it will probably produce an error in that case. The program will probably generate an error. You can try it. So you could write this code like this, and then try your program out. And you could try it with 3.8 and 5.7, but then you could also try it with like A equals Tom and B equals Mary and see what happens. It probably will get an error when we run the program. Not when we compile it, or not when we, well, I should say when the user tries the program. That's when we'll get the error. Okay, so anyway, this is convert to integer, same function here. And then C is the third variable. C equals A, and then the particular operation. So here we said we're using plus. This is going to be BTN plus. This is going to be BTN plus. And the operation, therefore, should be the plus sign, this plus. So we would say C equals A plus B. Next time we do this, we'll do it for minus. Then this will be minus and this will be minus. And here we'll want to say that C equals A minus B, because that's what we want to compute in that case for the minus button. And then LBL output is here. So we want the result. LBO result output dot text. So what we want to fill in there, we want to take the label output label and take its text property and fill it with what we get in this calculation. So you're going to need to do this for each of the buttons. Okay. For instance, the button for integer division would be btn int division. That would look like this here, dim ABC, we're not declaring the types here, cint text a dot text, and so on. And then interdivision is this backward slash, and then put C into this label and end. Finally, double click on the last button, btn, and add the normal BB code to exit. In other words, use the end special word, the keyword, the reserved word, end, END. Okay, let's stop.